Alright, today's task is to get this thing all cleaned up. So, do a little bit before shot. It's definitely dirty. Fenders here. We'll clean all that out too, best we can. Well, tire's holding air. Got her all cleaned up. Give her a nice wash. Scrub down. Came out pretty clean. Plastics are all nice and clean. Seats all nice and clean. We even clean under here. There are all the fenders. You can see the good gouges were, but you can barely see them now unless you get real close. Did all the fenders underneath. Washed the engine up pretty good. Get all that dirt out of there. And go ahead and push her back in. So she came out really nice. Definitely pleased. We're gonna go ahead and touch up the frame, clean that off, spray paint that again. I'm gonna pull these heel guards off, put them on my bike. Came out good, came out nice and clean. And don't have a whole lot of work to do to it. I'm debating on whether to do the block off for the parking brake. I may just leave it. I'm trying to keep the budget down just due to what I spent on this bike, so that leaves me more room for profit and kind of go from there. I did take off the 6-pack rack that was back here, and then I'm gonna try to sell these, and the 6-pack rack is a package deal for $100. If I can do that, then I'll go ahead and do a couple more things to it, but I'm just trying to keep that budget down, like I said. I ordered the snorkel stuff for the airbox, and I did order a thumb throttle with a new cable. I got that on Marketplace for, it was like $34 with shipping. Some guy had a used one. New they want like 125 to 145 depending on where you're looking. And I'm not gonna spend that just on a thumb throttle. So found a nice used one. Looks like it's in decent shape. May need the screws replaced, but it's not a big deal. I can go to the hardware store and find something that'll fit in there. And cleaned up down here. So that's all nice and clean. Cleaned up the underbelly. The rear skid plate's gonna be a challenge because it's broken in several spots and kind of chewed through there. And we'll see if we can make this usable again. I know it's not gonna be perfect, but if we can get it usable again, then that's fine with me. It's definitely tweaked, it's definitely hit something, so I'm gonna plastic weld this up, see if we can make something out of it to work. And then the next guy can deal with whatever he wants to put on there. I don't like those Amazon ones, just they're flimsy, they're cheap. I'd rather leave it empty than put one of those Amazon ones on. But I do have an armadillo one. It is right here. I'm pretty sure this will fit that bike. Not 100% positive, but the only issue with this is all missing there, so I may just peel that off and put that on there. But we still need to service it. You know, coolant, engine oil, oil filter, and still debating on whether I want to just leave this OEM or just get some little tabs to put in there, or do I want to go ahead and move these down here. I don't know. I may just leave it the way it is, just to sell it as like an OEM bike. A lot of these bikes out there have been molested and changed. So, you know, I kind of do things the way I like to do it. If I were to ride it, keep it, ride it, whatever, but, you know, not everybody's preference is the same. Oh, and I did find a new rubber piece for that. That is an OEM shifter, so I can just get the rubber piece for that for like $10, and kind of go from there. But see what happens. If I can get rid of those Nerf bars and that 6-pack rack, we may do some other stuff, like eliminate that brake cable, parking brake cable setup, and kind of go from there. But definitely happy with the way she cleaned up, that's for sure. Let me go ahead and touch this up. I do like this, just so there's no hard edges. Just kind of roll the tape, kind of blend it in. But I'm gonna do both sides real quick. Just to give it a nice coat. Sand that down a little bit, get rid of that rust, and go for it. So I went ahead and touched up the frame there. I'm not looking for perfection, I'm just looking for a blended look. So helps when you roll the tape, because then you don't get like a hard line. It's kind of blended in. And then I did touch up these foot pegs. Go to the other side. Same thing here. Touch that up. I did the foot pegs. Well, she's all cleaned up, touched up. Gotta do the carburetor still, waiting on the parts, tires, and put her up on the market and see if we get any bites this early, or I should say this late in the season. So all right, I'm gonna warm this bike up for a little bit before we do it. It's always good to do a compression test with a warm bike. I mean, if you don't have a running bike, then sure, go ahead and do it cold, but manual says get it warm. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Seems like it's got good compression, it runs good. I don't see why it wouldn't or shouldn't. So I'm gonna set up here and get this situated for a compression test, and I'll come back. All right, so I warmed her up. Tank out of the way. Enough to get to that plug down there. Let it run for about 5 minutes, and warm herself up. Then remove this plug. Oh, dogs are going crazy. I don't know why. Let's go find out. All right, I don't know what they were barking at, so go ahead and remove this plug. I always put the plug back into the socket and then ground it off somewhere. That's how they recommend to do it, so you don't fry the CDI. So we're gonna do it. I do believe spec is 142 PSI. So, I mean, if we're right around 140, so be it. And that's fine with me. I do say do it with the throttle open. So since I don't have a throttle on here, I'm gonna have to reach down to the side of the carb and do it that way. So let's set this up like right here. I'll get you guys closer. Like I said, 142 should be spec. So we'll see where we're at. Let me find the curb here. Actually, wide open. We're right about 140, which is decent in my mind. I'll go ahead and do it one more time. Same again. So, you know, she's got good compression, so I'm happy with that. We know we got a solid motor here. I did look down the cylinder. That looks like there's some carbon buildup on top of the cylinder head, but I mean, that's pretty typical. You know, my bike's got it. Every 400 I've had has the same thing. So I have to get a new chain just due to the fact that these O-rings are all, you know, they're broken. This chain is pretty much trashed. I thought I could save it until I realized there's an O-ring chain. You can see that one there is broken. I mean, I would say probably 90% of these things are broken. So we're gonna order up a new chain, so we should get that. Looks like that one they're missing. No, they're in there, they're just, so. Nobody really took care of this chain, and it has shown its true colors, so. I got a new one coming, we'll get it replaced. It's a throttle cable today, so we'll go ahead and mount that up. Went ahead and painted up the handlebars, stripped it all down, repainted them. They're looking pretty ratty, so I don't know if this is like nickel. I think it's like a nickel or something. Brushed aluminum, metal flake, something or other. Alright, so chain came today. Just did a non-O-ring chain. Did some, there's two of these in there, some little rubber for the foot ped or shifter, and then we just wanted some basic cheapy Amazon grips. So, look like that. Nothing fancy, something that'll do. So go ahead and get this chain on and stuff, and wait on a couple more parts. All right, tires came in today. These ones I ordered on Amazon. These were 21 by 7 by 10s. So a little smaller. 22s, I think the recommended tire size. We went one size smaller just to save a little bit of money. we'll see what happens when we get these mounted up. How much, my guess is they're gonna be the same size as these 22s I got on there, these Sun Fs. Like I've showed in videos before, that all tires aren't created equal, so we're gonna go with these. Decent tread on there, and yeah, they should do good. We'll see how these perform. I'm gonna ride this bike for a little while before I sell it, so I'll bring these over to the tire shop, get these mounted up. I'll post a link in the description what these were. I think there was like, I want to say like 88 bucks for a set of two. These are 4-ply tires, and we'll see how these hold up. But this is what they're called on Amazon. This is just Qingda. Definitely a Chinese tire, and